Hello and welcome to the Pro-Am Formula Racing. This is the Division Sprint Championship. Round 8 takes us to Zandvoort in the Netherlands. I'm Tom Cans in the commentary box giving you the details. An 18-minute qualifying session followed by an 18-lap race. There'll be post-race interviews as well to get some views from the drivers on today's events. So just some news on the driver front. Vengeance and Big Pug are not around, neither are Vintage or Primetime Raz. So the likes of their replacements, we'll go through the replacements very, very shortly when we do go out on track, so that it's easy for me to recognise who is in what seats. Well, I know that the championship leader, Vengeance, is not around for this one. He wasn't around for the last event a couple of weeks ago in Belgium. But he's still got a healthy lead of 63 points at the top of the championship over Fletch and Kilmore. So let's start off with Williams then, because both of their full-time drivers are missing for today. Quinton and Cars have been filled in. Ferrari. Primetime Raz is in at Ferrari, my apologies. So we'll go away from Ferrari and go to Haas, because Kenga is also in the vacancy left over at Haas. And Vintage's seat at AlphaTauri has been filled in by Bez Fox. So going to say about the championship, 63 points is the margin of Vengeance, and there's a tie for second place between Fletch and Kilmore. And Midis Miller, who was in the Haas earlier in the season, is no longer there apparently. Maybe dropped to reserve, but either way he's not competing. And there we can see Cars in the Williams going for a spin, pushing too hard at turn 9. And so Quinton will want to slow down. So it's the first time these guys will be doing an 18-minute short qualifying session this season. They have been previously doing the one-shot qualifying or qualifying sprint, and Cars unable to get the car going. It's been disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous position. So not a good start for him. Quinton goes past Cars. So not Cars. There was an Alpine coming out of the pits. That had been Happy Kilmore. And Quinton's already featured this season. He's the highest of the reserve drivers with 48 points. And now he's coming towards turn 11. So DRS open. Only 11.0 for him, but we are expecting the lap times to come down as the session thickens. There's Kermit, who's gone second on a 1 minute 13.4. Lost Faith is next behind. 1 minute 11.7 for him. There's Cromad in the Aston Martin. 1 minute 12.2 for him with that effort. Here is John in the Alfa Romeo. Kenga's gone third with 1 minute 12.0. So over the line John comes. 1 minute 11.1. And a few hundredths shy of provisional pole. Who else is out there? Suggested has just lost his rear wing there. Fletcher going over the line. Only third fastest with 1 minute 11.3. There's a Ferrari going through. There's a McLaren behind. That'll be adds up. One minute 10.8 for him. So that's another new driver on provisional pole at the moment. Can Primetime Res change that? No, he won't. He goes into the pit lane. So Justin will be making his way back into the pits as well. And that's AA, who's just gone for a spin in the Red Bull. One minute 19.9 for Smith. And Kilmore goes for a spin into the barrier there. He's damaged his front wing. Pushing too hard coming out of turn 10. This way, there's Luke in the Alfa Romeo. And that's ZHR going for a spin in the Mercedes, pushing too hard. Coming out of turn 13. Drivers need to avoid the curves. They are not the curves you should be using. The only ones I would recommend using is the inside curve at turn 11, but that's about it. And Smith going for an improvement here. 1 minute 12.2. Only good enough for 10th fastest with his effort there. I'm not sure if Luke is going for another run. I don't think he is, because his ERS is running very, very low. He's still carrying on regardless, but he's not going to be quicker than he was, so before. You see the car continuing to glitch. So, Rochford coming through. It was 1 minute 12.0 last time around. It's 1 minute 12.0 here, I think. But it's not good enough to put him up the order. Here's King. I think Primetime Raz is on the lap as well, so we'll go to him. Now, Liverin not moving out of the way there. He should have moved out of the way when Primetime Raz was there. He really should have moved out of the way there. And Primetime is forced to abort his lap. Now, Leverett knew he was on an outlap. And he nearly held up King as well, so I wonder if the stewards will be having words with him afterwards, because that was not on. And King into the barrier as well, crashes and out of the qualifying session. Pushing too hard, got the power down too early, too much, too soon. And that is his session over, and he'll start at the back of the grid. So we've got Chromad, who is on the flying lap. He's 11th fastest at the moment on a 1 minute 12.2. Is he finding an improvement by sector 2 here? He's a 10th up. Misses the apex at turn 11, which takes him onto a wider line for 12. Chromad only improves by 5 thousandths and stays 11th. AA goes up to 6th with his latest lap. 1 minute 11.7 for the Australian. Suggested who came in for a new front wing earlier on. About to complete his first time lap, 1 minute 12.7, which is the slowest of all the times. Kilmore coming into sector 2. Rear wing open on the Alpine. 1 minute 11.0. And that invalidated there for Rishi. So may as well leave that one and go again. ZHR. Slowing down there. I wonder if AA may be going on to complete his lap here. I don't think he actually is. He's going into the pits. John crosses over the line to begin. Kilmore is 400. Two turns down by sector 2 for him, so he's not on a fast effort. Lost time by riding over the curbs there. And he makes his way back into the pit lane. So we've got 7 minutes remaining. Adds up his fastest on a 1 minute 10.8. And it's Kevin Kilmore leading Quinton, John, Fletch, and Lost Faith, who are in the top 6. So Kenga in the Haas. Now he goes over the line. And it's going to be a 1 minute 11.0, enough to put him on the front row. And Prime Raz is not going back out on track. There's Buzz Fox, one of the reserves being called in for today. 600s up from before in sector 1. He runs wide through turn 7 though. That's not the best line to be taking. Makes his way through turn 10. Rear wing open. I don't think we're going to see an improvement by sector 2. Oh, we are. So a 10th up from in sector 2 from before. As Fox should be able to go in front of suggested here, providing his last couple of corners are not too shabby. He's coming back into the pits actually, so Beth Fox decides to abort that lap. Here's Luke in the Alfa Romeo, 10th down by sector 2. There's Lost Faith in the other Alpha Tauri. He's faster by sector 2 from before. I think with this lap it's only going to be good enough to put him up to like the top 7, because AA has just gone quicker than before on the mediums. He's Lost Faith, he's crossing over the line now. It's a 1 minute 11.2, they go 7th. So AA in the Red Bull. 800s up from before by sector 2 for Chromad in the Aston Martin. And now is he coming through the last couple of bends here. And that's an invalidation for him, so that lap time of his won't count. ZHR is not on a fast lap before though. Kilmore goes quickest of all, a 1 minute 10.8. Chromad has retired on circuit as well, which is not within the rules. Just to see how that accident, he may have just crashed out, to be honest with you. And yes, he has. His teammate was forced to go round him. So, over 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Mosbave makes his way back to the pits. So here's suggested. So Kenga, third fastest at the moment, one of the reserve drivers for this evening. Who is looking good to improve, I wonder? Adds up is on a slow lap at the moment. Kenga is looking to improve by sector 2. And 3/10 up from before, so it's looking good for him to get pole position here. Well, he's lost it coming out of turn 12. He pushed a bit too hard there. Got the power down too soon there. Adds up. Got in his way as well. That is not good there from the McLaren. Kenga will be furious with him for that. I think some of the driving standards so far in this session haven't particularly been great. And Quinton's crashed out on the exit. Well, just before turn 8 actually, so he's not going to be on pole. 4th or lower is where he will end up. The checker flag is out now, so anyone on a fast lap can complete it. So Smith goes up to 7th place with his last effort. AA looks to improve, and I think Fletcher's on a flying lap. And Kermit has retired on circuit, which is not what you're supposed to be doing. 1 minute 11.0, good enough to put him 4th on the grid then for AA. John has backed off on his time lap. Rishi on a much better lap than before. Good enough for 11th position. So Happy Kilmore on pole position then for Alpine. We've had up alongside, and it's Kenga and AA on the second row. So Kilmore and Adsop line up on the front row next to each other. 100th of a second is the difference between those two. Kenga and AA are next, followed by Quinton and Fletch. Then it's John and Smith on the 4th row, followed by Loss and Kermit on the 5th row. Then it's Rishi and Luke on row 6, followed by CHR and Chromad. Next, ahead of Suggested and Bezfox. King, Raz, Labyrinth and Kaz round off the grid for the race. We'll be back in a moment for the 18-lap Grand Prix of the Division Sprint. Just to let you know of the calendar situation, after Zandvoort we go to Monza and then Sochi. Then we've got another week off. And then we return on the 28th of October in Singapore. And then Suzuka and Mexico City. Then we've got the final week off before the last triple header of the season, which will be in Brazil. The penultimate round is expected to be maybe one of the DLC tracks. And then round 16 will be in Abu Dhabi on the 9th of December. So the countdown has begun before the start of the formation lap. And the 5 red lights come on in front of the drivers. When they go out, we'll be racing here at Zandvoort. It's lights out, and away we go. Kilmore gets off to a good start, as does Adsup. Then we've got Kengor in 3rd place, and then the 2 Red Bulls of AA and Fletch fighting over 4th place. And there's someone going right round the outside, that will be Quinton in the Williams. So everyone seems to have got through rather well. Just looking to see, there's one of the Ferraris in the wall. It's Kermit who's gone already. So he's the first casualty of this race. I think that may well bring out the safety car with him stranded there. One of the Williams is off in the background as well. That's Cars who's pointing the wrong way. Taking them a while to get going. So Kilmore leads with Ads in 2nd place. Then it's Kengor and AA next behind. And then Fletch down to 6th place. One of the Alfa Romeos off into the gravel trap there. That'll be John who's gone through. No, so that was Luke Rochford who just gone off. And that's Adsup. So Adsup from 2nd place is falling down the order on the exit. And finally Cars has got going again. But he's way, way behind the rest of the field. And he's spun round again. And he's reset the car back onto the track. That's against the rules. And he's got a broken front wing. He keeps spinning round. And this is not good driving standards from him. And Prime Time is also out of the race. So both Ferraris out after one lap. Cars has also stopped out on circuit. He's crashed out. It looks like he's done it deliberately as well. So that is him out of the race and perhaps in trouble with the stewards. He's been shocking today, it has to be said, as Cars. No question. Clearly hasn't got the handle of the cars on this game. So definitely some practice needed for him. And looks like someone else has gone off. There's 2 cars off there. That looks like Labyrinth there. I think that may well have been Cars who's just parked up. So Labyrinth already on the back foot as well. So Kilmore leads with Kengor in 2nd place. And it's 2 Red Bulls of AA and Fletch. So Kilmore and Fletch looking to eat into Vengeance's championship gap. He didn't compete in Spa a couple of weeks back. He's not competing today. So Kilmore with a new fastest lap on lap 2. Now the top 11 currently all started the race on the soft compound. And someone's off in sector 3, it's Labyrinth. And he has crashed out on the exit of the last turn. There he is, look, pointing the wrong way with a wrecked machine. Now, I wonder if the safety car will come out as King comes into the pits for a new front wing. And the leaders coming round to... Well, they're coming towards the end of lap 3 here. Kilmore leads Heather Kengor and AA and Fletch. All within 2 seconds of each other. And Labyrinth is out of the race. So we lost 4 drivers already as Kengar goes to the inside. Can he get a better exit coming out of Tarzan? Van the Alpine, the answer is no. Kilmore leaves him space. Kengar thinks about making a move. Oh, he spins round! So Kengar pushing too hard on the exit. And that's him falling down the order. What a shame. Falling out of the top 4 as well. So he's down to 11th place after that. SLHR looks to make a move on Bezfox. Down the pit straight, and that's him through to 14th position. So there's odds up, and Kengar fighting over 10th place. Kengar getting through for a moment. But then make contact. Does the McLaren get through on the inside? The answer is no. I thought maybe able to get a better exit than the Haas. Turn 12. And looks like someone's off there. It's Kengar. He's gone off for the second time and nearly took out Suggested as well. So Kengar comes into the pits for repairs, and that is his chances of a points finish pretty much gone now, unless we do get a safety car later on. So Kilmore leads, and it's Fletch in second place, and it's AA and Quinton in third and fourth. And Kilmore, who is yet to win a race this season, must be on course to achieve that today in the Netherlands, as Fletch and AA continue to William and as can see him move there from Adsup going to the inside of Rochford into turn 1, and that's him moving up into 7th position. Chromad into the pits for Aston Martin to get rid of those soft compound tyres, and he'll rejoin at 11th place. So we're at the third Dutch Grand Prix in the division sprint in Pro-Am Formula Racing. Subs could really decide it. I wonder who's going to blink first and dive into the pit lane. Kilmore's in. Just slowed down in time, and someone's gone off in sector 1, and King's out of the race. So Kilmore exits his box now. Where will he rejoin? As you can see, King stopped at turn 3 there. Another retirement from this Grand Prix. And Kilmore has rejoined in 7th position now, ahead of the AlphaTauri. And Rishi rejoins in 10th position as well, as one of the Mercedes has gone round. It's ZHR. Has broken his front wing. He's already been in the pits. And he's most certainly in need of some remedy once more. So it's a Red Bull 1-2 on track. As Quinton looks to get in front of AA here, as Fletch comes into the pits for his only stop of the race, and I think Quinton's going to get a move done here on AA, and he moves into the lead. Oh, contact made! AA got too close there to the Williams, so he's broken his front wing, and he'll lose a horrible amount of time with Underseer. So Smith will be right on the gearbox of the Rebel here because AA was struggling through the corners with the damage that he's got. And Fletcher's rejoined just behind Kilmore as well, so these two are going to be fighting over the race victory, no question. And Smith has overtaken AA now. ZHR trying to do the same, trying to run lap himself on the wounded Rebel. There's Adds Up. So A8 makes his way into the pits at the end of lap 8 for his one and only start, but he's going to lose even more time by getting a new front wing fitted on, which will allow Adds Up to, well, I was going to say it'll allow Adds Up to go through, but he's also in need of a front wing. So AA should rejoin ahead of him, and he's going to fall behind Rishi. So the Rebels should rejoin here ahead of the AlphaTauri, who's just coming into turn 1 now. So Quinton leads with Smith second and Luke Rochford in third place, but all three of them have yet to make their mandatory pit stop. And I think Quinton's going to take the opportunity to come in at the end of this lap. So in he comes. Smith continues on for another lap. Luke also in the Alfa Romeo. Quinton exits the pits. Can he get out in front of that McLaren that's coming down? Yeah, he's far enough ahead. He's crossed over the white line though, has Luke. So not with Luke, Quinton. Can Luke keep his car within the white line? Yes, he can. So there we go. Luke rejoins in 7th place. And now we go back to race leader Smith. So Smith will make his way into the pit lane. Slows the car down in time. It's an excellent job from him there. The Mercedes crew are ready. Medium tyres going on, and out he goes. And Fletch posts a new fastest up. He's just got in front of Kilmore, actually. So Fletch is the new race leader of this Dutch Grand Prix. And Smith will rejoin in 4th place ahead of Rishi. Adds Up with a new fastest up as well in the McLaren. He's dicing at the moment with AA and Lost Faith. AA was able to fend off the McLaren through the overtake. Adds Up looking to try and get past as well, which he does so around the outside. That's a nice clean overtake there. And I think Luke has had a bit of a moment on the outside. So is that Rishi? I think it's Rishi who is struggling through turn 7. Has continued. Sector 2, and Luke has gone for a spin. First lap out of the pits, or second lap out of the pits, and he's thrown the chance of a points finish away here, nearly taking out Kenga as he goes past. And he cannot get the car slowed down. So I think Luke may well be back into the pits. I think he's got front wing damage anyway. So Fletch in the lead by 1.3 seconds. On course for his first victory of the season. And Luke does get a set of the soft compound tyres on, and he'll be joining 14th. So 5 drivers out of this race so far. They are King, Labyrinth, Primetime Raz, Kermit and Cars. And Buzz Fox has retired from the race as well. He's crashed out on the exit of turn 7. Is that going to be enough to bring out the safety car, I wonder? Quinton thought about going into the pits as well, but decided better of it. I wonder if the safety car setting may be reduced, actually. And Chromad has been penalised for a severe collision with Suggested. So Chromad has got the first time penalty of the race now after that. And I think Suggested needs to come into the pits to get his front wing changed. So First Fox becomes yet another retirement. So Adds Up gets ahead of AA for 5th place. Nice move from him, making his back through the field. So we've got 5 laps to go now in this Grand Prix. Fletch on course for victory. It'll be a significant one for him and for Kilmore in 2nd place as they close in on Vengeance in the title battle, as we are now at the midway point in this championship. And AA make his way back down the inside of the McLaren of Adds Up. Just about enough room for him to get through without contact. So that's the Red Bull up to 5th. That's the closest battle we've got on track right now. And Fletch seems to have made a mistake on the exit there of turn 12. That may well have been a glitch, and it looks like one of the Alpha Tauris has gone round for a spin. That's lost faith. So he's damaged his front wing as well. And I think Luke has had a spin of his own as well in the Alfa Romeo. So both of them really struggling in this race. So Lost Faith makes his way back into the pits. Will he call it quits or will he decide to carry on? I think he may decide to carry on, because if someone drops out ahead of him, as we watch Smith get past Quinton now for 3rd place, so Smith having a good race so far, on the fresher tyres actually than Quinton is. For Lost Faith, he rejoins in 11th place, ahead of Suggested. So Lost Faith has the chance to go for a fastest lap. And AA looks to fend off Adds Up here. Adds up thinking about it, but waits behind. Oh, and the Red Bull spins! So AA spins at turn 1, caught the curb on the inside. I hope he hasn't damaged the front wing because he did make contact with the wall as he was rejoining. There's Chromad in 10th place in the Aston Martin. He does have a penalty, but even that won't affect his race finish position. So Happy Kilmore on the brink of finishing second behind Fletch. Just a couple of seconds now between those two, with 2 laps remaining. And adds up now ahead of Quinton. Now, has Quinton had a moment somewhere? I think he must have done, because he's gone slower than he would normally be. And I think he may have damaged his front wing. Or is he running short on fuel, I wonder? It could be a fuel shortage. And John now ahead of Rishi for 7th place. Now, if it's fuel for Quinton, yeah, you can see the car revving so much. So I think he's been running short on fuel, because he had hopes for a safety car in this race, but it hasn't come out for him at any point. So he's going to allow AA to go through ahead of him here. Lost favour in a new fastest lap, which could come crucial actually, because Quinton's crawling around, saving fuel. And you can see the fuel meter board, the fuel gauge has now reached red, so Quinton's going to fall out of the points by the time this race is finished. So Fletcher's now started the last lap of this Grand Prix. So there's Quinton currently in 7th position. Kenga is the next one, potentially going to drop him down the order. Quinton should have enough ground actually. As one of the Aston Martins goes off the track, it's Rishi who's lost the position to Chromad, and he's struggling with fuel as well. So Lost Faith will move in front of him into 10th place and on course to get that point for the fastest up as well now. So Rishi lets him through. We'll go back to the leader though, because Fletch is on his last lap. Kilmore behind him, just under a couple of seconds behind. And it looks like Quinton, you can see he's just allowing the Haas to go through behind him. But here's Fletch, exiting the banking, and he's going to win the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort in the division sprint. Fletch wins for the first time this season. Kilmore comes home in 2nd place. And then not too far back should be the Mercedes of Smith, who collects a well-deserved podium for him. Adds up, recovering well to 4th place. And we shouldn't be too far away from seeing AA. He'll be 5th. John off the track at the penultimate turn. And that's how Kengo into 6th place. Over the line he comes. 6th place for him. He has got a penalty hanging over him, so we'll see if that does drop him back. It doesn't actually. So Kengo finishes 6th. John 7th for Alfa Romeo. Quinton crawling all the way over the line in 8th place. And then there's Chromad, not too far behind him, and Lost Faith. Mayweather's getting in front of him here, and he does so. So Lost Faith gaining brilliantly, gaining a couple of positions in the final couple of laps, and gaining the point for the fastest lap. Chromad 11th, had a suggested who crosses the line 11th. Then we've got Luke, who will be in 12th. ZHR will be in 13th place, and then we'll wait for Rishi to see. And that is the last of the finishers. But it's victory for So there's Fletch collecting his winner's trophy. And then there's the Alpine of Kilmore, who'll be happy with his second place as well. So Fletch wins with Kilmore in second place. It's Smith third ahead of Adsup and AA. Kengor sixth ahead of John and Quinton. Lost Faith was ninth and gained the point for the fast start. Chromad 10th, even with the penalty applied. Suggested was 11th, followed by Luke, ZHR and Rishi, who were the rest of the finishers. Best Fox retired, as did King, Labyrinth, Raz, Kermit and Cars. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has come down now. It's 38 points between Vengeance in the lead, who didn't race today, and Fletch, who won today, is in second. Kilmore third, another 7 points adrift. Well, that was the race. We're going to interview some drivers now, so if you just bear with us one moment, and we'll ask them questions on today's race. Right, let's speak to some drivers today after another Grand Prix in Zandvoort. We'll speak to the race winner, why not? Fletch, your first victory of the season, and a crucial one as well, with Vengeance not competing today. That was quite some performance, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so you were obviously battling with the likes of Quinton as well, who eventually had to save fuel because in the last couple of laps, he was basically revving, if you want to put it in those words, where he was just struggling for pace towards the end, and he was perhaps preempting for a safety car. But unluckily for him, it didn't come out. But for you, you had enough fuel on board to make it to the end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next round of the championship, of course, will be next week at Monza, a brilliant, brilliant racetrack. A track that you tend to do well on? Mm-hmm. Well, very well done today, Fletch, on your victory, your first of the campaign, and best of luck to see if you can carry that form into Monza. Though we'll talk to your Red Bull teammate, AA, who came over the line in 5th place, I believe it was, if my memory serves correctly. 4th, actually, 4th. Yeah, so... Oh, no, it was 5th. Yeah, I was right. I was almost looking at the qualifying results. But yeah, it was 5th for AA, so you're saying it was just... Yeah, it was another interesting Grand Prix. It was. I mean, you had your spin actually after your battle with Adsup, and you also made contact with Quinton as well into turn 1. What happened? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the 10 championship points has moved you up for a couple of positions in the championship as well. You've moved up to 4th place, behind Kilmore, Fletch, and Vengeance. Monza next. We expect it to be a very quick Grand Prix. What's the plan with that? Are we doing a qualifying sprint for it, like Formula 1 did so in real life? Another fine drive to 5th place, AA, and maybe we could well see you on the podium once again later in the season. Thank you very much. Well, next in the Alfa Romeo. First time out in the series, outside the points, unluckily, but he did qualify well, it has to be said. Yeah. And that we've got Monza and Sochi before we take another break. And what's the plan going forward for you? Because I don't know how much use you are to like 25% races. Obviously, the DEG obviously decreases when it comes to like either the soft tire or the medium. Which tracks would you say favour you the most? Yeah. And we hope to see you in the point scoring position for Monza next week. So best of luck then in a week's time, Luke. We'll speak to yeah, we'll speak to Suggester. We'll speak. It was another rocky performance. 15th on the grid, had to come in for a front wing change or two, and just missing out on the points in 11th place. Yeah, is that supposed to be a better track for you? Because you're still without a point so far this season. We're at the halfway point, so surely you must think I've got to get some points on the board very soon. Of course, I think that's the kind of spirit you'll be on. Performance at Monza in the Formula 1 World Championship this year. Anyway, thank you, folks, for yet another division sprint race here at Zandvoort. Next time out, it will be at Monza in 7 days' time. Who will come out on top of that? And could we well see the championship leader Vengeance makes his return, or could the championship be clawed back? And it will be in for an intense ending to the championship. Thank you, everyone, for your time, and we can't wait to do it all again in 7 days' time at Monza. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Pro-Am Formula Racing returns.